Hi guys, this is Raus and welcome back to Inside Jungle channel. If you're for the very first time on my channel, please do hit the subscribe button as well as the bell button in order not to miss any updates. So what do you have today over here? You have my red anthurium plant, which is not the focus for today's video, but these little seeds will be the focus for today's video. What are these, you might be asking yourself? Well, these are Venus flytrap seeds. I've never tried anything like this. I've never tried to plant seeds of the Venus flytrap, so I'm very excited to do this today. So what you will need in order to be successful in germinating and having little Venus flytrap plants? Well, first and foremost, you need chocolate. This is an essential ingredient for planting Venus flytrap seeds. Well, to be more precise, you need this kind of containers if you do not want to purchase proper starters or starter kit. Then you're gonna use the chocolate box. Now, you can eat the chocolate, you can give it away, and what you will do next, you're gonna need a sharp knife and make some holes in the starter. Well, I'm gonna call it a starter kit, so you know what I'm referring to. It can be any sort of container that you have around the house, or you can go to your garden center and purchase a proper one. Now, what else I'm gonna use today? I'm gonna use for the soil a mix of perlite, a mix of peat, and sand. I'm gonna use actually more perlite and more sand than peat in the soil mix, because Venus flytrap as a plant does not like any minerals in the water or any minerals in the soil. So it's very important that you're using a soil mix that has no added nutrients, added minerals. Otherwise, as soon as the seed will germinate, the plant will die because of the excess of nutrients. So it does not eat any fertilizing soil or any water. Not even the tap water. It's not okay to use that. So if you do not have access to rainwater, because I live in an apartment, so if you're like me, you will not have the possibility of collecting rainwater, what you can do is buy distilled water. Where you can find distilled water? Pretty much in any supermarket, any hypermarket, usually in the auto parts area. And as you can see over here, you can use it for the engine of a car, or maybe in your iron, when you're ironing your clothes, yes, because this doesn't damage the machine. Now, this will not damage also our seeds, so hopefully we will be successful in germinating these Venus flytrap seeds. Let's get started. So, as I said, you need a knife or something sharp in order to make some drainage holes if your container doesn't already have drainage holes. Not too large, because this is a very small container. And remember, the Venus flytrap has preference for slightly less humidity in the soil, because any overwatering will kill it. Okay, I managed to make some holes with the knife. You can always use a cutter if you think it's easier for you. Chocolate, we don't need it right now. We are going to enjoy it later. So this is the container I have for the seeds. I have two more like this. And the tray. I will have to find a tray around the house for this container, but I would say we are prepared. Now, the next thing that we need to do is to prepare the soil. As I mentioned, I'm going to use perlite. And I'm gonna dump it all over here. Now, if you're allergic to dust, you have to be very careful in using perlite because it does raise a lot of white dust with fine particles in the air. No matter what you do, it will do that unless it's damp, so unless you water it before. But in order for you to mix it properly with the soil, you should take care of your allergy by protecting yourself with a mask. Okay, so if you're using perlite and you have allergies, do wear a mask before that. I don't have any problems like this, and I'm very grateful for that, so I will not use any protective measures as of right now. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix in some peat, like 3 spoonfuls for now, and then some sand. Okay, this should do. Now, the sand I have over here, it's very fine. It has very fine particles and has been obtained by grinding rocks. So it's not the type of sand that you can find on the seashores that is made out of fine, grinded by nature, this time shells, but this is from stones. I do have a little bit of seashell sand, but I'm keeping it for terrariums and for decorations. I'll be very honest to you. I have a little bit left over and I'm keeping that. Okay, generously apply the sand and then mix it carefully again because of the perlite dust. Now, why I used so little peat? Because although it's written on the package that it came from the nursery, that it doesn't have any added minerals and it's an organic in nature, you may never know. So I don't want to damage the germination, the possibility of germination of the seeds, and I prefer to have just a little bit in the mix. As you can see over here, it's more sand and more perlite than peat. Now, what's important to know, Venus flytraps, they feed themselves not from the soil like most of the plants we know, but they feed themselves from the insects. They take their proteins from the insects, they trap and then digest. So they will not need too much water in the soil and they will not need any trace of minerals in the soil. So be very careful and keep that in mind. This is not your regular house plant that likes eating from the soil. Now what we are going to do, we are going to fill these shapes, these chocolate shapes, with the mixture. And actually, because I've never planted this seed before, I am going to try a few variations. So this batch has more perlite sand, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more sand and try it with a little bit, but just a little bit more peat for the next batch. Try to even it out, so this will not be the permanent house of the seedlings if they germinate. I have no idea of just yet. I just want them to form a little bit of roots and then they will go into a larger pot. About the germination time, I read that it can take from 1 week to 5 weeks, so we have to be very patient. But I'm already used with waiting for plants to germinate, for seeds to germinate and plants to emerge with my other seedlings. Okay, this is done. What we are going to do right now, we are going to water the mix. I'm gonna open the bottle of distilled water. And gently pour it. The seeds are so tiny, and if you don't damp soil mix beforehand, you might just simply lose them on the sides of the pot or improvised pot. They might not be covered in soil mix. So I prefer to damp it beforehand. Now what we are going to do is gently place the seeds. I'm going to use the other tray I have to see how many seeds we have over here. And with my finger, place them. I'll place 2 in each of the chocolate spots. As I said, this will not be there permanently. Here I place 1 in a tinier chocolate spot. If it's bigger, it will have 2. Okay, this one is the one to get off my finger. This one either. And that's it. Now what we're gonna do is gonna gently push them like 1 millimeter from the surface. Not more than that. You don't need more than that. 1 millimeter before the surface. And you do that with each and every seed you place. Now, how I will water this in order not to disturb this very fine mix, I'm going to water them from below. So either I will spray them with a fine mist of water, either I'm going to water this tray from below. In this way I will not disturb the seeds. And once you place them in the mix, it's very, very hard to spot them. So this is why you have to water extremely gently. Now some people are using moss for the mix, for the soil mix. I do not have moss. We are in isolation still, so trips to garden centers are postponed indefinitely for now. So I just use what I still have as supplies for myself. So this is it. I'm gonna take care quickly of the other tray and of the remaining seeds. And we will see each other in a maximum of 6 weeks, I would say. Give the seeds some time to germinate. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep them in the windowsill, covered by a layer of plastic foil, the one that you use for wrapping foods or foods that you want to store for later, or if you want to place food in a container without a lid, you put that plastic foil on top of it. So the same plastic foil I'm going to use to wrap this. Keep the humidity of this improvised pot as high as I can. Although they do not like a very humid soil, the plants like humidity in the air, so this is very essential. They are tropical plants, remember that, and they do like humidity. So let me offer you the final product of today's gardening work. Ta-da! A freshly baked tray, not of chocolate, not of bonbons, but of Venus flytrap seeds, freshly planted. Actually, I have 2 trays of such. The difference is that in this second tray, I have used a little bit more peat in the mix, and in two, I hope you can see it, if not I'm gonna put a picture of it at the end of this video. In two slots over here, I put only sand. It's a test in the making. I have not seen anyone doing it in the research I've made before this video. No gardeners tried to plant Venus flytrap seeds in only sand. I'm trying it. I don't know if the seeds will like it. I don't know if they will germinate, but it's an experiment. You know me already. I like to make experiments. And keep the finger crossed for me. Hopefully we will see each other in a few weeks' time with an update of this video. Until then, we will see each other next week when I will have to take care of this Redenturium. I told you it's not the subject of today's videos, but I do have to take care of it. Probably next weekend, during 3 days. Or 2 weeks from now, no, next week. For sure next weekend, because I think it's root bomb. So this is it for today. The planting was an easy process. Planting of a Venus flytrap seed is a very easy process if you have the right mix. Soil mix and the water. As I said, I use distilled water. I don't have access to rainwater. And any other type of water will have too many minerals for the plants to like. So this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video and my final product. I hope I will have some results. I will definitely post an update in a few weeks time. And if I do have results, I'm gonna make a separate playlist on my channel regarding Venus flytrap plants, as I try to make with my other plants. If I have a little updates over there, I try to group the video. Until next time, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from experiences. I'm so happy that you guys are commenting on my jasmine and polka dot videos. I like to hear about your experiments with your plants, and I really love to find out where around the world you are watching from. Thank you one more time for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done so, please press that subscribe and bell button, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.